Hello, welcome to Exempliphi. Thank you for stopping by. Today we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions. So I've been writing New Year's resolutions for about 5 years now, and year after year I feel like they've been getting better and better, and I've been more likely to achieve them. So the reason I'm making this video is because I feel like a lot of people have become really pessimistic about the idea of New Year's resolutions, and I kind of understand why, but at the same time I don't. There's a little bit of a disconnect. In previous years, when I asked people if they've had New Year's resolutions, they always say yes, and they, tell me with excitement what the New Year's resolution is. But these days, I feel like I get more of, why choose one time a year to change yourself, right? If you want to make a change, it can be any time during the year. And I feel like this is kind of a pessimistic view of what New Year's resolutions are supposed to be or what changing yourself is supposed to be. Anybody that actively works on themselves knows that you don't have to choose a specific point in the year in order to start your journey. New Year's is just another opportunity for you to do so. It doesn't make it the end-all be-all, it just makes it one other opportunity that just so happens to be built into your calendar for the year. That's why I love New Year's resolutions. And if you had to choose one time of year to actually look back and think, how did the last year go? What can I do moving forward? This is the time to do it because everybody is celebrating the new year, right? This is kind of like a phenomenon that transcends you. So I think we can use this energy together to improve ourselves. So how do we write our resolutions? Well, not to brag, but I completed all of my New Year's resolutions for the past year. And I can honestly say that this is the first year that I actually completed all of my resolutions. So the reason I was more successful this time around versus previous years is I had 3 things in common among all my New Year's resolutions. 1, they were vague. Vague enough that I could have multiple win conditions and I didn't have to just rely on one metric of success. You could say, I'm going to complete the New York City Marathon this year, which is a very specific thing and there's only one win condition. Whereas if you said, I'm going to complete a race this year, you can run multiple races, and if you only complete one, then you've succeeded in your goal. And speaking of completing one race versus completing a marathon, you want to keep your goals small in scope. I feel like this is the biggest problem when people try to create New Year's resolutions is they want to make this big grandiose gesture. They want to reach for the stars, which is great. We always want to have this abstracted ideal version of ourselves where we complete huge goals. But unfortunately, that's not the case a lot of the times. It's not possible for us to do those certain things, especially if we don't really have an adequate basis to work off of. If I want to be a famous actor by the end of the year, but I've never taken an acting class, I've never recorded myself, I've never performed in front of anybody, then I have a lot of hurdles to jump over before I get to that ultimate goal. Therefore, becoming an actor at the end of the year is not an adequate goal for somebody who has never had experience in that field. Saying, I'm going to get started on my acting journey is a much better goal because it's vague, like we said before, and that could encompass anything. If you take an acting class, if you've taken an acting class in January, then you've already completed your New Year's resolution. Now all there is to do is to keep going. And to me, it seems much more inspiring that I've jumped over the hurdle and I've achieved something. I got that small win and it's something that I'm enjoying doing versus putting this pressure on myself to succeed in this massive thing, hiking to the top of the mountain when I'm at the very bottom. And the last thing about New Year's resolutions is they should be important to you. I don't think you should judge your goals and your success based off of somebody else's metric. A lot of people want to lose weight at the beginning of the year or get in shape, but a lot of the time when people come into the gym with some kind of fitness related goal, I realize that it's not something that is existing within them. So there's a small shelf life for that person's willingness to go to the gym. They can go for 1 week, they can go for 2 weeks, maybe they can go for 2 months, but beyond that, if it's not something that's arising from within, then it's not something that's gonna stick. If it's something that you see beautiful people walking around who are chiseled all the time, and you are envious of that and you want to achieve that, that's not necessarily the right basis on which to set your goal. A lot of the time when you see people in media who look like that as well, they're on all kinds of performance enhancing drugs, they've had surgeries, they've done a lot of stuff, there's a lot of lighting things that go on and angles of the camera to make people look certain ways. So please, please, please do not base your desire to get in shape or your desire to achieve something on social media or media in general. Choose a goal that fits you and comes from within. Are you somebody that wants to reconnect to their culture, but you don't know the language? Get started on learning that language. That seems like something that's going to be much more important to you than achieving something because somebody else wants it for you. It seems like a cliche, but it's really important if you want longevity. You need that intrinsic motivation. It's also good to have extrinsic motivation, right? You want something pulling from within you outward and something pushing you from behind from without. And I saw a really great video from Struthless that talks about this. You don't actually need to have a positive reason for changing yourself. This is gonna seem kind of pessimistic, but it's actually not. If you have what he calls a dark why, a negative reason for wanting to change yourself, for example, let's stick with getting in shape because my knowledge base is in exercise. This is something that I've thought in the past. I am fat and I will never find somebody to love me. Although I was very young when I thought this, you know, I was in middle school, so there's a lot going on there. It was still something that galvanized me to join the wrestling team, lose weight, and I succeeded in that, although not in the healthiest way. I went above and beyond. I exercised very, very frequently for probably too long for a person that age. I starved myself and ate very little. This is a topic for a different video on a different day, but I didn't do the healthiest things to get there, but nonetheless, I achieved my goal because there was something burning within me to achieve it. And now I'm able to flip that negative reasoning and turn it into a positive career where I can help people lose weight in a positive manner, in the correct way, where they don't have to starve themselves and when they don't have to work out copiously or kick themselves when they're down. So I've learned a lot from using something negative and flipping it into a positive. So at the very least, if you can't find a positive reason for doing something, find that negative reason. The reason behind why you're kicking yourself. Why are you so down on yourself about this specific thing? Channel that and use that energy to galvanize you to achieve something that's important to you. All that being said, I want you to ask yourself 3 things before moving forward. 1, what areas of my life need improving? 2, how much can I realistically get done? This is your maximum achievement if you actually dumped your entire life into achieving these goals and pursuing this one goal that you set for yourself. What can you get done at the end of the year? And then what is a satisfactory win condition? So that means this is like your minimum. What is the bare minimum that I can do to show myself that I've achieved this goal? And if you find yourself struggling to find that bare minimum, you need to narrow the scope of what your goal is. And hopefully by this time next year, you will have all your goals finished and done with, and you can start this process all over again. So please, please, please consider writing some New Year's resolutions this year. It'll greatly improve your life, hopefully, if you do it the right way. So all that being said, thank you all for watching this video. I appreciate it. If one of your goals happens to be to get in shape and it's coming from within, please feel free to reach out to me, DM me on Instagram, email me at reachcoachben@gmail.com. If you do so, we can set up a free consultation where we can figure out together where your fitness journey is gonna go. Thank you all again. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.